One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to the news. I am your presenter, Henry Himonde, and my co-presenter on sign language is John Chulu. Let's now take a look at the stories making headline. Amathon to invest 50 million United States dollars. Nutritious food vital for inmates. And Texila Humanitarian Society donates sanitary towels. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema says government remains committed to ensuring that all the vulnerable communities affected by the drought in the 84 districts are assisted. And President Hichilema says he is not happy with the food distribution in the affected areas. The head of state said this during his working visit to Tena and Amathon farm in Mumbwa. Here's the report.
President Hakainde Hichilema was on Tuesday, 23 July 2024 in Mumbwa district for a one-day working visit. President Hichilema was visiting Tena and Amathon farm. The head of state was taken on a conducted tour of the farm. Later, President Hichilema addressed people that gathered at the farm.
The government is committed to making sure that our vulnerable colleagues in 84 districts where the drought was the worst are supported in two ways. First, to make sure that there's food. I'm not happy about the distribution of food. I'm not happy as head of state, as your servant, about the way we are managing the grain back into the buying depots. We can do better. I do get feedback. I sat with the chiefs, they gave me feedback in there, and I have suggested that after today, we checklist the challenges that we're faced with and resolve them. Colleagues, DMMU.
We urge you to continue assuring your people that no one will die of hunger. This is an honor to the people of Mumbwa to have the head of state visit us. Out of so many, we are so lucky to have him here.
Amathon farm is said to be one of Zambia's biggest farms, with an announcement of 50 million United States dollar investment.
It's about 50 million US dollars. And the workforce, direct and indirect, which will in the next 18-24 months get employment here because of the expansion, is about 3,000 people.
Agriculture, a hidden treasure that needs a heart.
Amos Zulu, Mumbwa.
And Amathon Farms in Mumbwa district has announced plans to invest over 50 million United States dollars into its expansion program. This is from the initial investment of 100 million United States dollars. Amathon Group Chief Executive Officer Max Stam says the firm is committed to increasing food security in the country in the wake of the drought situation. Mr. Stam says the increased investment activities at the 40,000 hectares farm will include an annual addition of 15,000 hectares for production. And President Hakainde Hichilema says he is visiting Amathon farm to appreciate its history and help resolve some challenges around the farm that concern traditional leaders. President Hichilema said this when he met chiefs from Mumbwa and Shibuyunji districts.
With about 3,000 hectares currently under production, Amathon farm in Mumbwa district is said to be one of Zambia's largest agricultural crop producers, with an announcement of over 50 million United States dollars worth of investment. This will see the current 3,000 hectares of agricultural production expanded to 10,000 hectares.
We have so far invested around about $100 million in this operation. The crops we plan to grow is obviously maize, some wheat, sugar beans, onions, and some other crops, but maize plays a very important role. And this would make us to one of the largest commercial farming operations in Zambia. Apart from that, obviously, we are having, community programs. We want to implement daycare for our employees here. We currently employ up to 1,000 people, always depending on the season and harvesting or not.
With the Zambian government placing agriculture as one of the key drivers of economic growth, President Hakainde Hichilema is here in Mumbwa to solidify this pronouncement and encourage farmers in the country to emulate the farm. The head of state has demonstrated this by leading in planting maize at the 5,000 hectares land designated for the crop.
Outdoors. Can have 50, whatever number of small-scale farmers around this property who you work with, so that we gravitated from 3 tons per hectare, which is really what I do, 3 tons per hectare, to even 8, 7, 5, 7, 8 over a 3-4 year period. We will have achieved a lot. We don't have to cut more trees to clear the land. It means the same hectareage we have, we will produce 2, 3, 4 times. And then the country will be in a different space. I think that's really the message. Industry here, farmers like yourselves, we must work together. The chiefs, I was talking to them in the room there. Now our small-scale farmers, everybody will see the next door person as a friend because there's a mutual benefit by working together. That's really what this government wants. That's true, Mr. President.
With about 15,000 hectares to be added under cultivation annually through its expansion program, 1,500 jobs are expected to be created at this farm.
So amafioni atintandizira kairi kuno kampani amene ili kwa ikuru ni amafioni so nja imafuna bantu bambili kuno nja imagenesako bantu bambili so yatutandiza kuchira kunkara kwa mento ezo nkara chabe apa tusebenza.
Amos Zulu, Mumbwa.
And President Hakainde Hichilema has directed the Minister of Agriculture to ensure the delivery of farming inputs for the 2024-2025 season is done by September. Mr. Hichilema has also called on the Minister of Agriculture to collaborate with traditional leaders ahead of the next farming season to ensure all chiefs across the country are initiated on the Farmer Input Support Program. The head of state was speaking when he met 6 chiefs at Amathion Agri Farm in Mumbwa district. Details in the following report.
President Hakainde Hichilema has conferred with traditional leaders in Mumbwa district of Central Province. The head of state has issued a directive to the Ministry of Agriculture.
Declared. Is that not the correct position? The president, beginning last year, declared that all chiefs will get farming inputs. All of you. You must truly lead by example. Example, so your government is happy to change the policy. This president has changed the policy. This headman of yours, your servant, has changed the policy. All the chiefs, without exception, will get farming inputs.
The president has also urged chiefs in the country to help government curb early marriages.
We don't want a family that does not send children to school. I'm joining our money. All our children must go to school. There's no excuse now. There's no excuse. Great questions. Mtabuko havana for 13 years, 14 years. You mwenda kulia chigo shabana. Kamweze mbesheni.
Earlier, speaking on behalf of other chiefs, Chief Mlendema of the Ila people appealed to the president to facilitate the initiation of traditional leaders on the Farmer Input Support Program.
Looks at inputs, agricultural inputs, from IDCs. All along, we haven't had agricultural inputs as cheap. So, would like to lead by example.
President Hakainde Hichilema is in Mumbwa district of Central Province on a one-day working visit. Hlupekile Nkunika for ZANIS in Mumbwa.
President Hakainde Hichilema has lamented the continuous bushfires in Central Province. The head of state has since appealed to traditional leaders to help curb bushfires as they deplete forests needed for livestock farmers. The head of state made the call during a meeting with 6 traditional leaders at Amathion Agri Farm in Mumba district of Central Province. President Hijilema, who was greeted with bushfires on his way to the agro company, said chiefs should help curb indiscriminate bushfires because they are a threat to the environment as well as livestock farmers. Meanwhile, to underscore the president's concern, a bush fire swept through the area where helicopters were parked, forcing pilots to relocate them. President Hijilema also observed that there is need to address legacy issues of encroachment on the farm for Amathion Agri Company. The head of state advised the company, which is also involved in agro-processing, to introduce outgrower schemes to empower the locals.
One of the issues we want to do is that the farm must produce higher levels of productivity, but the farm should also support the small-scale farmers around, like an outgrower scheme, to assist our people around to also improve their productivity. I was flying over here, I still see bushfires. Natuleke kumpama sokwe. Hiyo ngombe shilali ya haika hii. What is the cattle going to eat? In there, balao mposha kulia shabantu. Niyo busara mulabusha kutika hii, te mulataku na huwa na mili wosha kusa. Na mili wose yapya, mulahalika hii. So that's my opinion. Mungwa is an excellent Mungwa.
Meanwhile, Amathion Agri, the German agro-based company, has built a health post serving a catchment of 7,000 people in Chief Kaindu's area in Mumba district. The health post has been built in Chifuwisha village, 57 kilometers to the nearest health facility in Mumba Boma. Residents have praised the company that is also building a police post in the area which records high cases of stock theft. Details in this report.
Situated about 57 kilometers from Mumba Boma is Mfubisha village in Chief Kaindu's area. Poor access to healthcare services was a challenge till Amathion Agri, a German company operating in the area, built this health post and equipped it with a maternity wing. The people of Kaindu's chiefdom appreciate this development.
Hospital, njibo tumaningi kambo, iragwa hiriha. Muri no tsano tukedo uno area ya kurumahiva, kumuka kulangu maningi. Soro transport oro ino jiwa twakapenga maningi tukisiba. Mutwazo wakulangu kurumahiva.
Kama sebenza manje kuliko yakutati ntenda ikakula maningi akambati mwende kusogolo. So apa chifunika kuti ati vonse vinkale pano. Usati tizienda kusogolo iyayi. Ndabati mavutika maningi monga ma transport sebenangu system kwanisa ma transport.
The health post has a catchment population of 7,000 people.
Amathion has embarked on expanding the health facility here, and making it a health center would actually help us with our population, which we are catering for as a health post.
Amathion Agri is also building a police post to enhance security in the area, which, according to the locals, records high cases of stock theft.
Every time when they don't matibera.
Amathion Agri General Manager Carlos Key says the construction of the 2 facilities is intended to improve access among the local people.
We build a clinic, a maternity ward, and we are now finishing to build a police station to serve all the community. And we have been receiving very good feedback from our workers.
Shupekile Nkunika for ZANIS in Mumbwa.
Also in the news, visiting World Bank Managing Director and Chief Administrative Officer Wechai Zan says the World Bank is committed to mobilize resources from the private sector to develop the country. Mr. Zan said the World Bank, through the evolution roadmap that has been put in place, will strengthen partnerships with development partners and scale up the guarantee portfolio. Meanwhile, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Stumbeko Musokotwane, said government is implementing financial reforms to increase private sector investment. The duo said this when the World Bank delegation, led by the Managing Director, visited Minister of Finance and National Planning in Lusaka. Details in the following report.
In the wake of natural disasters such as the drought and pandemics, Zambia has been facing numerous challenges that have significantly contributed to the reduced growth of the economy. The 2024-2027 medium-term budget plan has revealed that the country's domestic economic growth in 2024 is expected to significantly decline to 2.3% from 3.4% recorded in 2023. In spite of the challenges, government has remained committed to stabilize the economy through the implementation of various reforms, including the debt restructuring.
We have undertaken the reforms that has created a more attractive environment in our main sector. Our main sector in this country is mining, which has been like that for over a century. But for some time, the sector was engulfed in an environment of an atmosphere that does not attract private money. People looking for copper and these mining minerals were skirting around Zambia, going to other countries, and were being left behind. So we've had to undertake the reforms so that we balance that out. And I'm happy to say that the interest of the investment community is phenomenal.
The World Bank is one of Zambia's trusted partners in the development agenda.
So how can we mobilize resources from different, different sources? So like particularly how we mobilize more private sector capital in the communities is so important. Right? Of course, banks will work with other multilateral development partners to mobilize resources for country, for Zambia. We in a bank, with our evolution roadmap we put in place, the bank will further strengthen our partnership with other development partners, so including multilateral and bilateral development partners in the coming days, and of course including our partnership with the private sector. So I see you are our governor. You know that we are going to scale our guarantee portfolio.
International partners have commended the government for the efforts made this far towards fiscal growth and stability.
I commend you again for the actions that you've taken to try and address some of these issues. Obviously, we know your fiscal position is very constrained right now, and I think that as we enter into the following year, I know that there's going to be a lot of prioritization that's needed in terms of public expenditure management. We urge you to continue the fiscal discipline that you have.
We have taken some of the major reforms that have happened as a challenge to us as IFC to make sure that we are able to mobilize the private sector capital that is needed to develop some of the opportunities that are coming through. And I also want to join Nathan to thank you very much for the great collaboration that we have with yourself and the other partners within government.
Such partnerships will foster a more resilient Zambia. Sharon Walia reporting for ZANIS in Lusaka.
Still on health matters, over 30,000 children under the age of 5 are targeted to be vaccinated against polio this year by the Department of Health in Lufanyama District on the Copperbelt Province. District Health Planning Officer Lawrence Malama disclosed that about 80% of preparations for the exercise which will commence on July 25th to 28th, 2024, have been done. Mr. Malama, who further appealed to the media to spread the message, explained that the exercise will be conducted in all the markets, health facilities and designated public places. Meanwhile, Lufanyama District Administrative Officer Kase Mukamwalo called on community members to take their children for vaccination and cooperate with health workers during the campaign.
We are targeting about 32,000 children that are under 5. I'm hoping we will reach that figure. Then we've done a number of distribution that relates to logistics that are related to the vaccination campaign exercise that will be taking place. I think we have about 80% coverage in terms of logistical part and cold chain part. Most of the commodities have been distributed to the facilities. So we appeal to the media community to help us disseminate this information to the public.
I now want to call upon parents, caretakers, and guardians to ensure that all children under the age of 5 are vaccinated.
Copperbelt Provincial Health Director Charles Mwinuna has called for provision of high nutritious food for inmates to ensure good health for them. Dr. Mwinuna stressed that inmates need to have strong immune systems from highly nutritious meals for them to withstand the harsh prison conditions. Here's a report.
Proper nutrition is a cornerstone of good health, which should be available to everyone, including inmates. To this effect, INBAT Free, a non-governmental organization advocating for the welfare of inmates, held a nutrition sensitization workshop for correctional facilities staff from Copperbelt, Central and Northwestern provinces. Copperbelt Provincial Health Director officiated at the workshop.
Issues of nutrition cannot be overemphasized. Anybody that is confined, tends to tip into some mental challenges when they are confined. So, nutrition becomes very key because the body has to be strong enough to sustain the environment, but also to pull through that environment, it requires that somebody has got energy, has got appropriate, food stuff that they are actually being given so that they are able to manage the situation.
INBAT Free Programs Manager Precious Hazemba acknowledged the nutrition challenges in correctional facilities.
Guests of honor, sir, the quality of food and beverages that individuals consume markedly affects personal well-being and overall health. Access to nutrition, to nutritious diet, especially important for incarcerated people who may be at increased risk of nutrition-related chronic diseases. Nowadays, due to the increased number of imprisoned people, the provision of adequate food remains an ongoing problem, putting prisoners at risk of malnutrition. Access to adequate nutrition is a basic human right, and prisoners should be provided with health food choices and diversified diets to optimize health. Prisoners are particularly vulnerable to suffering from undernutrition compared to the general population. Several factors have been identified for undernutrition, among others including lack of adequate food, poor dietary diversity.
And the participants promise to make use of the knowledge they have acquired.
Considering the setting where we work in, we have inmates of different statuses, different conditions. So this meeting, learning about nutrition will help in our assessment, even as we are treating them, knowing what to give them, in what quantities, even as we are treating them, those with illnesses, and even those who are living with HIV and TB.
Provision of nutritious meals to inmates is also vital to maintaining the immune system and prevent high mortality rates in correctional facilities. Liz Ngobeka reporting for ZANIS in Kitwe.
Nutrition, the National Food and Nutrition Commission has called for urgent nutrition intervention in Western Province. National Food and Nutrition Commission Deputy Director Matthews Muhuru has further revealed that indicators from recent findings show that there is food insecurity in Western Province, hence the need for urgent action in nutrition interventions in the region. Mr. Muhuru has since implored all scaling up nutrition, implementing stakeholders to create positive action plans after examining the findings with the aim of addressing long-term budget processes that will promote the reduction of malnutrition at all levels. He further added that sharing study discoveries with districts in the province will promote the government's vision to end all forms of nutrition vulnerability in the country. Mr. Muhuru disclosed this when he officially opened a two-day Mongu District Survey Findings Dissemination Workshop. Earlier, Mongu District Nutrition Coordinating Committee Chairperson, who is also District Education Board Secretary for Mongu, Ilitombi Lisimbi, assured National Food and Nutrition Commission that her team is committed to ensuring that the nutrition status of Western Province is improved.
Been given a huge task as Mongu to run with our activities, and I think this team that is here, we are trying so much to do that. We don't take this the issues of nutrition very lightly. Already the discussion that is going on is simply showing that this team that is here is committed to the core, ensure that the nutrition levels in our district are improved. Our district commissioner would have come here to grace this occasion as well, but we have the PTCC going on right now for the province, one of the areas in the district. So I can only urge my colleagues that are here. You know our successes and you know our gaps. I hope this meeting once again will enable us to come along and cement what we are supposed to do and in fact enhance what we are already doing. Otherwise, I thank you all for having come to attend this meeting.
From the DMMU reports, which already are indicating that Western Province requires agent support from the food security side, from the nutrition side, but also we have other reports that have been conducted, such as the SMART surveys, which were meant to just inform, how we proceed, especially from the nutrition front. If you look at the coordination of nutrition activities in the country, that coordination function lies in the Vice President's office. So for us, I think when we, share these lessons, share these findings, and translate them into actionable, tasks that the district staff can do, then of course we'll be elevating, government's vision just to achieve a Zambia, where every, nutrition vulnerability is addressed, and where, we can achieve a reduction in all forms of malnutrition.
We now take a break. We have more stories when we return. Keep watching.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours. Don't miss.
And in Lusaka Province, Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu has condemned the commotion displayed by beneficiaries of the drought emergency cash transfer that took place at Chimwemwe Primary School Pay Point in Chawama constituency in a bid to get paid their monies. Ms. Zulu said such behavior is posing a danger to the lives of pregnant women, babies, and the elderly and the disabled people who became vulnerable due to their conditions. Here are the details.
With fear that some of the beneficiaries of the drought emergency cash transfer might not receive their 800 kwacha payment, there was commotion at Chimwemwe Primary School where most of them tried to force their way into the pay point hall, a scenario Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu condemned. Ms. Zulu says government's allocation of 45,699,000 kwacha to 57,000 beneficiaries of Lusaka is meant to cushion the hunger situation in the country caused by the drought experienced during the 2023-2024 farming season. The district commissioner has further called for cooperation from the community for the successful implementation of this program. Mijelo Mwemba reporting for ZANIS in Lusaka.
Now, Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri has expressed concern with the high cases of teenage pregnancies recorded in the province between 2022 and 2023. Let's have more in this report.
More than 200 adolescents from the 15 districts of Eastern Province are attending the 2024 Provincial Adolescent Health Indaba in Chipata District. Eastern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape officially opened the Indaba.
Zambia still remains or ravages in the high poverty levels. For example, Eastern Province, we are talking about 76% from 56%, which is very, very high. So with initiatives like this, indicated, this government is committed to reduce the teenage pregnancies and also the dropout rates from schools. The rates of teenage pregnancies between 2022 and 2023 were at 30.3% and 29.9% respectively. Our target to reduce these rates to we want to reduce it to 26.5. This means we have a lot of work and we need a lot of collaboration from a number of stakeholders that are present here.
And Provincial Health Director Dr. Matthew Zingambi has commended cooperating partners for partnering with his office to hold the Indaba that is targeting to address the challenges that adolescents go through.
For us, adolescent health is probably one of our biggest program areas. It's the realization that it's only a healthy adolescent that ensures a healthy future. So we are very happy to be here. We are very committed to listen and engage with our adolescents so that together, we can develop programs that take care of your health.
Earlier, the adolescents in attendance showed how happy they were to be given such a platform that aims to improve their welfare.
This Indaba will be of great use and great help to us adolescents, especially that we have different stakeholders who are also policy makers and who are also committed to helping and supporting us in the challenges that we're facing.
Conducting this meeting, it has enabled us to voice out what are some of the things that should be put in place in order to at least reduce or completely combat the issues that as youth we are facing.
Sylvester Chimba for ZANIS in Chipata.
Now, government has urged the public not to use the internet to commit offences. Chadiza District Commissioner Malan Zimba says gender-based violence using social media has become rife in all parts of the country. Jubel Zulu has more in the following report.
As technology is evolving, some people misuse it, a situation landing some to answer within the course of the law. Others have taken gender-based violence on social media, a situation the district commissioner is against.
Zamafoni, mwina social media, mwina ma WhatsApp group, mwina pa Facebook. Maningi mwazimai makonda kuti nza kuposita wenda na mwamuna wanga ni mlandu muziba muziba ka mwatenga mwana wabele shikwa mwamugwira chigoloro mambo mushota shota ni mlandu mwaposita iwo wabene mwaposita imwabene mwachita chinja chindu ni mlandu.
More advice is given.
Kanyayo wadinga na boss kunyumba not per Facebook imulandu kuluma ningi. And then two, ise bakazi wa Zambia tikonda bazungu ka muzi anakwenda yenda ngani muzi balonziwa pa Facebook check see almost everyone. My inbox. Well, when I'm messages, I'm going to go to Zungu yaja na mahindi aziwa. Ekani nimiuze mmezeseta. Baada siba Zungu baje. Maskama zwapaka ka. Muza bene kusika baso. Baada kawa mimi nzo tibela manyumba baje. Notibela ma streets baleka. Mane ni maskama. Watu mulipe drama manyumba. Na handbag mulipe drama zilipa.
With the high numbers of teen pregnancies, more needs to be done.
ZITA and wider this year we are working in partnership and we'll be facilitating on gender-based violence. With ZITA, they've been covering online GBV. We've targeted Chadiza being one of the places where we've also seen the high statistics of gender-based violence, especially when we look at child marriage. And of recent we had seen those statistics where we had seen the high figures of sexually transmitted disease about the adolescents. So that's why we've come here to create awareness on how these women and the adolescents can protect themselves and how they can report these cases so that we reduce or eliminate gender-based violence.
Jubel Zulu, ZANIS, Chadiza District, Eastern Province.
The National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, has urged local authorities in Mchinga and northern provinces to be remitting workers' contributions as it is a mandate they should not abrogate. NAPSA Regional Manager North, Mushoke Namiluko, said this during the opening of a 5-day engagement meeting with local authorities in Pika District. Details in this report by Peggy Gutinyu.
Remittance of workers' contributions to the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, is mandatory for all employers, local authorities included. However, the non-remittance of the NAPSA monthly returns by some local authorities in the country has greatly impacted on employees applying for their pre-retirement benefits and the payment of their exit claims. NAPSA Regional Manager North, Mushoke Namiluko, sheds more light during an engagement meeting with local authorities.
It has come to light that there has been a significant gap in filing of returns, especially for the past periods, posing a challenge for the authority in carrying out its mandate in the timely payments of benefits.
It is NAPSA's hope to see local authorities benefiting from the waiver.
We have approved penalty waivers for 3,286 employers. So that translates to 326,180,262 kwacha. And sadly, we do not have many who have benefited from the local authorities in this number. So we thought we should engage you so that we can see how best we can expedite all these measures.
There's social protection through NAPSA, and some of those benefits, such as the pronouncement of the 20% and all of that, would allow our members also to benefit from what we are doing. Some of those members might include some of you here in attendance. As you know, a lot of us here have worked in many local authorities, and in those local authorities, some contributions may and may not have been made.
Peggy Gutinho for ZANIS in Mpika, Muchinga Province.
And to conclude the news, Kamlanga Secondary School in Lusaka has received a donation of sanitary towels for 1,500 female learners from the Texila American University, Zambia, through the Texila Humanitarian Society. Kamlanga Secondary School head teacher Martha Mwanapawu says the donation will help in keeping girls in school because lack of these facilities has led to most of them missing out on classes when they are menstruating. Details in this report.
Texila American University Zambia through the Texila Humanitarian Society has donated sanitary towels to 1,500 female learners at Kamlanga Secondary School in Lusaka district. Texila Humanitarian Society president said the donation is a contribution toward the promoting of a girl child's education in society.
Your boundless potential and shining future are the driving force of us wanting to make the world a better place. We hope this act would contribute in the slightest to your well-being and education.
Lusaka District Commissioner Losa Zulu officiated at the donation ceremony which took place at Kamlanga Secondary School.
Under the able leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, we don't want to see anyone staying at home. Your contribution will make a difference in the lives of many young girls here at Kamlanga School. How I wish you extend to other schools.
The donation of sanitary towels has excited the school management and learners.
The needs of a girl child are so important, especially in the education of the girl child. There is a time when a girl child disappears from school because of lack of certain necessities which you have remembered. So thank you so much for that.
We are very grateful for considering us, and we ensure that we are present on every day of the school year so that we may have no excuse, even if it's on our day.
ZANIS reports in Lusaka.
On that note, we come to the end of the news, but before we go away, let's take another look at the top stories. Amathion Agro is set to invest 50 million United States dollars. Nutritious food for inmates said to be vital. And Texila Humanitarian Society donates sanitary towels to Kamlanga Secondary School. Thank you so much for staying with us on behalf of the entire news production crew, as well as my sign language interpreter, John Chulu. I'm Henry Himonde. Goodbye.